Thank you for joining me today, and today I'm going to show you what my husband built for me. I have a total of 4 actual cutters. I have 3 silhouettes, the 1, 2, and 3, and then I have the Cricut Explore Air 2, and I'm always trying to find a place to house it without taking up too much room. So I'm going to show you how we did it. So the first thing I did once I realized I wanted to make a shelf was I took a trip to Home Depot. I wanted a shelf to hold my equipment, and I wanted it to be 24 inches wide and 36 inches tall. And I took a measurement of how tall I wanted it because I wanted it to go underneath one of my printers. And I knew based on the width of the cutters that I needed to be at least 24 inches wide. So that's why I got the measurement of 24 by 36. Once I realized that, I went and found some wood that was perfect for what I needed. It's called a common board. So I got a 1 by 8 board, and I bought 2 10-feet ones. So let me give you the measurement so that you guys kind of understand how I did it. I wanted my shelf, I needed 4 shelves in there. So I needed to have one on the top, so that would make a total of 5 of the inside boards. And each of those measured 24 inches, and the 2 on the side was 36 inches. So I need a total of 192 inches of wood. Divide that out by 12, I knew that I needed 16 feet of wood, which meant that I would need 2 boards, and I would have a little bit extra. So this project roughly cost me 40 bucks. The supplies I needed were I was going to need some wood, a drill or a screwdriver, and some wood screws. And the wood screws roughly cost me about 7 bucks. And for the wood screws, I got number 8, and then I did the 1 inch, and I bought 100 of those, so they're roughly about 7 bucks. The other thing that I needed that I didn't take a picture of was I have a metal ruler. I actually got a 36-inch one. When I use a metal ruler is because the metal ruler is the most accurate measurement it is in a ruler form. I could use a tape measure, but I'll show you in the video that my husband used a metal ruler to actually lay it on the floor and make the markings. I could not have gotten this project done anywhere else customized like I wanted it for $40. So to get started, all I simply did was told the gentleman that I wanted the particular wood, and he actually took it to the cut center. And that's an area where they do free cuts for you. I'm not sure how many cuts they allow, but they allowed me to cut all the wood that I needed, and it worked out perfectly. I was able to get exact cuts, and then I just took some sandpaper and I sanded the rough edges down, took it home, and we began the project, and it was just that simple. So I took this picture right before we got started so I can show you just how easy it was. I needed a drill, a Phillips head screwdriver that fit into my drill, my screws, 5 inner pieces of wood, my 2 outer pieces, and my seal-up machine just to show that it was going to fit. Minus the ruler, the only thing I didn't have in this picture that I actually needed was a ruler. And let's get started. My husband is such a numbers person. He's so methodical that he was the perfect person to do this project for me because I am not that person. So he decided that he knew that he had 5 shelves, and he measured out to know where to put the placement of the shelves. The first shelf was going to be placed at the top, so that was going to be at the 1-inch mark. The next one was going to be at the 9-inch mark. The third one was going to be at 18. The fourth was going to be at 27, and then the last one was going to be at the 36-inch mark. So what you see him doing now is he's actually placing the ruler on top of the wood on the outside area, not the inside shelf area, but on the outside area. And he's simply marking the numbers 1, 9, 18, and 27 to let him know where he needs to draw a line, because this is going to go on the actual outside. And you'll see in a second how this is an easy process. I would have never thought about this, but it comes out to be very easy because all he's going to do is just draw a straight line across, and that's going to let him know on the outside of the wood where he's actually going to put the shelf placement. Now the next thing he did was he just simply went and drew a line straight across where the mark was. So for example, at 9 inches, he went straight across so that you'll know that's where 9 was. And he did this all the way down the board on the exact numbers that he needed. Once he had that done, he divided the board into 3 sections because he knew he wanted 3 screws. And all he did was on each area, he just marked a note 3 times. And I can't tell you what that number is on mine because my board was not actually a total of 8 inches. But on your board, you can just figure out what that is. So divide that 8 divided by 3. and that will let you know what you want your numbers to be. He continued numbering or marking the board all the way up and down the board. Now this looks like one piece of wood, but remember this is two woods that's side by side, and it was easier for him to transfer the numbers versus doing one board at a time. So he did two boards at one time, which made it very, very easy. Once he finished doing that, he actually was now time to place his screws. So at each mark on that three that he divided on those tick marks, he put a screw. So each wood had three screws on each level. So for example, at the 1 inch, which is the very top, he put three screws. At the 9 inch mark, he put three screws. At the 18 inch mark, he put three screws. At the 27 inch mark, he put three screws. At the 36 inch mark, he put three screws on both sides of the board, so that when it was time to assemble, all he had to do was to line up the wood where the marks were. It was absolutely an easy process. Now you can see exactly what I'm talking about when I say he did three. This shows you how he was able to, on the line, put three screws exactly on the line on the noted area. So watching him made this to be very easy. It seemed like it was a long process, but it wasn't really long. It was very thorough. This was one of those where you're not going to be able to make mistakes. You take the time to measure and build out in the beginning, and it's going to work out in the end. So I'm going to speed this video up a little bit so we can go a little bit faster. That way we can get done with it quicker and you can see exactly what I was talking about. Now he's ready to actually combine the pieces and build the shelf. So he's actually going to take it and put it on the side and line up the bottom piece with the alignment of the screws. And he's just simply going to screw it in. It's just that easy. And, you know, he could probably hear me talking in the background. So he's like, mm-mm. I was blown away. And what he's simply doing now is he's actually screwing the screws in where you can actually see the screw through the wood. And that actually is going to be the placement. So there's no guessing or wonder if it's going to be crooked. He actually started the screw where it actually can make an indentation in the wood when you push it together. And then once he screws it, it's automatically going to be in there. I'm actually going to speed the video up so we can actually watch him build the shelf. There, can you see it? You can actually see where he actually started the screw, and the screw came through the wood, and you were able to get a peekaboo look at how he lines it up perfectly. And there you have it. Now he's going to add the closing part or the side piece, and just like that, that shelf was built. This shelf only took him roughly, it took me more time to edit the video than it actually took him time to build this. I actually got all the measurements exactly right. Home Depot did a great job of exactly getting the cuts right. I was able to sand it perfectly, and bam, there it is, my shelf being built. It's absolutely something I'm going to do another project. Since I realized how easy this was and how easy it was for him to break it down the way he did, I'm definitely going to build me something else. Next thing I'm going to build is a paper shelf. But stay tuned, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's completed. Guess what? My silhouette machine fits perfectly. Love it. The other thing was I should have made it a little bit wider for my Cameo 2 to open. The Cameo 3 opens because it does not close automatically, but I think I'm going to add a Velcro piece on this one if I decide to keep it in the shelf. I'm going to put a Velcro piece on it so it actually adheres to the top of the shelf. But other than that, it's perfect. I love it. I love it. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you're not a part of that. Push the bell so that you get my notifications of when I come back on. And thank you guys for watching. My husband did a great job. I'm so proud of him. Thanks, babe.